everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope January is off to a good start for you. We got ourselves a music show here from our Newburyport studios today. The great Lee Biddle.
Bring me back to that apple tree, the one that caused my lip to bleed. That's a story for another day. Now I sit here in our sweet little home, one I only dreamed that we would own together. We've come a long way, and I feel just as I did for you all those many moons ago. Your hazel eyes, they give me butterflies, like a giddy young lad running free and wild through a field of grass that's overgrown. Bring me back to that big red barn, the one out on Mr. Kid's farm, where we pledged our vows. Through thick and thin, sickness and health, with you I've got the whole world's wealth. There's no place I'd rather be than with you right now. And I feel just as I did for you all those many moons ago. Your hazel eyes, they give me butterflies, like a giddy young lad running free and wild through a field of grass that's overgrown. And someday I'll be singing about these moments in which we are living, and I'll look you in your eyes and feel them butterflies. And I feel just as I did for you all those many moons ago. Your hazel eyes, they give me butterflies, like a giddy young lad running free and wild through a field of grass that's overgrown. Your hazel eyes, they give me butterflies, like a giddy young lad running free and wild through a field of grass that's overgrown. Through a field of grass that's overgrown. Your hazel eyes, they give me butterflies, like a giddy young lad running free and wild through a field of grass that's overgrown.
Lee Biddle, nicely done. Welcome back to our Newburyport studios, my man. How are you?
Doing well. How about you?
Good.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Absolutely. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Awesome. What was it? Last time, it feels like it's been a little while since you've been on.
Yeah, I was trying to think.
Yeah.
Was it around this time last year? I can't remember. If it was
I can't remember either, man.
Yeah. For some reason, New Year, I was like, was it? Somewhere around New Year's last year, but
I'm so
maybe
bad
2 years
with
ago.
time. People ask, you were on like what, 4 years ago? I was like, no, it was last year. Like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
Very good. I guess it wasn't that bad. But good, man. How are things so far there in the how's 2024 treating you? It's weird to say, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Even I was writing something about this actually on Instagram and just writing 2024. I was like,
Yeah.
is that right? But yeah, I think it's going good so far. This is kind of my first thing. I have a gig tonight too, but
nice. First thing.
to kind of be kicking 2024 off with you. And
Beautiful.
yeah,
it's funny actually. I think you did twice. You did the Seabrook Idol thing up in New Hampshire, and we just started that last week. And I caught myself at the last second, but I almost did. I had to MC the first night because poor Jay Pizarros was sick, and I went to go introduce it, and I almost said Seabrook Idol 2023. I just couldn't. Training yourself to get yourself into that is a little different, but good. Yeah. So no competitions for you this January. Just playing the out thing and doing what you do.
Yeah, kind of just enjoying doing what I do. I think I'm gonna now go to the Seabrook Idol.
Oh, nice.
Just kind of enjoy it. I feel like that's
what spectator.
Yeah. At the end of last year's one, that's kind of right away. I already knew. I was like, next year I'm just gonna go get some dinner and just enjoy it.
Yeah. It's a cool thing to say. There's a lot of talent there. So
yeah, always.
Was that lyric "Giddy Young Lad"?
Giddy Young Lad, yeah. I can tell you where that comes from, too.
Oh, yeah, what do you got?
Well, it was actually kind of a funny. I usually explain it before because it's kind of a funny lyric. But so I wrote that song for my wife. But
it's all true.
Yeah. The apple tree part is about Cider Hill, a little inside joke with me and her that happened there.
Okay.
And then the second verse is about where we got married. And then, the chorus was, it's actually kind of a local reference too, but the Giddy Young Lad, last spring I was taking, I think it was last spring or the one before, but I was taking my son to, he's now 3 years old, Livingston.
Wow.
But I was taking him to the, the airport in Plum Island?
Yeah.
We just went there last spring. He likes watching the planes take off, and we met some people.
So do I.
Yeah, it's awesome. And we met some people. The guys actually showed us around, and it was cool. But at the time we went, the grass there was like taller than him.
Oh, yeah.
And I told my wife, I was like, the happiest thing I've ever seen in my life was him just running through the grass taller than him. And that's where that lyric came from. The giddy young lad running free and wild through the field of grass that's overgrown was kind of the... it was just like the ultimate joy. He was just running through. He was falling all over the place, and it was taller than him, but just smile like. I was like, that was just ultimate joy. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's where that comes from.
I'm glad we circled back to the. Didn't get to intro the song, but I'm glad that came up.
Yeah.
That is a great spot. I've actually. It's funny for somebody who I'm not like a huge flyer.
Yeah.
Like I would never get in those Plum Island planes. Like I just.
I'm scared of flying in general. I wouldn't get into the little
like, will you fly on a commercial airliner?
I will if, like, it's been a while and I'm claustrophobic, so there's something about...
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I'll do it if I have to.
I do too, if it's the only practical way. Not the only. I mean, if it makes sense to do it, I know the percentages. It's a very safe way to travel. Like, I can get myself to do it, but I'm just not one of those people that just loves to fly.
Same.
My mother loves to fly, or used to at least. And
that's how it is with my wife. I don't think she loves it, but she's joked that she won't fly with me again. She's like, you're so uncomfortable that it makes her uncomfortable probably. So
it's I don't know, but I grew up near Beverly Airport in Danvers. I love Plum Island. I was like, I spent a lot of time.
I love watching it.
I do too.
That whole thing. I love
especially the Plum Island because it's like a couple. Probably like I spent a lot of time there in the last couple of years, and you always drive by that airport. And just a few different times I've caught like the sun setting, and planes landing and taking off. It really is.
Yeah. And sometimes just luck out with I'll be driving and I'm like, there's a plane landing. I'm like, so awesome.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, you know what? Since only because I'm just coming off of a show. That's probably why I feel like my voice is not as strong after emceeing an event.
I imagine.
but since we're in the January phase of Seabrook Idol here, what's your advice as a past? They're going to start listening to this now that they've met me.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think what I learned as I consider myself more of like a folk artist, not like vocally. You know, there are some people that I would say you're a vocalist. Like, that's, you're incredible. And I think just focusing on what I learned through it was focusing on your vocals more than guitar playing or. Have that in there, whatever you're doing, but that's what it felt like to me that the judges were really focused on was my ability to sing is what it came down to. So finding songs that show your range.
People liked the rawness of you, though, in the original. Yeah,
I mean, I think there's parts of it that definitely anyone going into it with original music definitely do that. That went over well, too. So not to take away from that, but even in your own songs, finding the ones that just show your range a little bit more than... maybe just a favorite of yours because lyrically or something that it seemed like it's they want to hear how you can sing. So that's what I learned along the way.
I was trying to think last night. Actually, I think everybody who did an original song actually got through last night. I think there's round one is in the books. Round two is coming up, so that's why I was thinking of it. But it's awesome. Fun. You know what I loved from you? I remember this moment. You probably remember this too. You had made it through I think a couple of rounds. And there was like this final night where you knew like only 2 people were getting through or something. I forget what the numbers were. And there were like 2, I think, women who just like did kind of like upbeat party songs, but they just like killed it. And it was like just this the whole place was like wild. And then like I remember you went up there and I remember you said to me, you know, I was actually going to do something else, and then I watched those 2 and I was like, I'm not going to get I just don't have it in my repertoire to like get this place going like that, especially so I'm just going to play this. You played like some original song. I loved that about you.
I feel like it was like I was like, I'm going out with this. I'm gonna do
it was awesome. I just thought it was the coolest. Like I don't know, it was just.
But the other thing I'll say about that, like the way I looked at that whole competition was like the people I met. It opened so many doors. Like having not won it, like everything I met Jay through that. Jay Pizarros, Francois.
God, I don't even remember when I met you now.
Yeah, because I knew you before that.
Right.
I think we met at the Newburyport Brewery.
Just randomly?
Randomly, I think. That's at least my first memory. And it was a while ago.
I usually actually remember that stuff. I think
it was something there, and I talked to you afterwards, and you were, I can't remember if this was relatively new, but it sounded like you were like, I have this thing. Like I didn't know
I'd
what
like
it was.
You to come on.
Like, this is awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that probably.
Because I knew you before the Seabrook.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely know that.
But yeah, so I feel like go into it just with an open mind of meeting people, and it'll open opportunities wherever you get in it.
It is a fun crew. Yeah. It can't be too discouraged. I felt like some of the people that went home on that first night were like discouraged, and I was just like, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I know it's kind of lame.
It's tough getting like judged in anything you do, but I feel like it was nice because I went into it like when I moved on the first time, I was like, like I was surprised, but like if I had gone home the first, I wouldn't have been like bummed. So then to move on, it kind of. It almost like brought something more out of me.
But you like play professionally, so you like you know that you can hold yourself on the stage and do it. I think for a lot of these people, it's like they're probably like maybe they're probably not playing professionally.
Yeah.
And it's like part time, but they would like it to be more. And this is like they look at this as like their chance, and I think that's when people kind of walk away and stare down the judges. And it does happen, unfortunately. But,
it's hard getting judged in anything.
Yeah, it is. How's live music these days? You it seems like you're playing a lot.
Yeah, playing a lot. I'm doing it.
Played in Danvers a couple times.
Yeah, I'll be back at Berry Tavern on the 18th.
My birthday.
That's your birthday?
That's my birthday.
I know where you got
January 18th, I imagine.
Yeah, January 18th. Thursday night, if that's the 18th, right?
Yeah, it's a Thursday, yeah.
And I'll be there solo for the first time. I've always played there with kind of a group that I have that.
Yeah.
But I love that spot. I'll be. I've kind of my connections mostly at least started Newburyport, Amesbury type area.
Newburyport native, but.
Yep. And now getting down someplace in Danvers, Ipswich, Essex, just kind of.
Yeah.
And then through Jay Pizarros, getting some places South Shore and Boston, and meeting people through that. So
I just told him he just needs to move to the North Shore. I'm kind of sick of having him down there. He's too. I always thought you're way too good to be down there. You're one of my favorite artists. I would like to see you more. Can you just move here so we can?
Yeah. Totally.
South Shore people have a way of sticking on the South Shore.
Yeah.
Not him. I mean, he travels the country, but
totally.
when he's here, all right, we get another one for us, and then we're gonna.
Yeah.
What are you thinking here? You want to do the song intro this time?
Yeah.
Or don't. I don't care.
No, this one I'll do because I'm working on a second album right now, which I probably said last year when I was on here.
That happens more than you'd think.
It's for me, this song I've now recorded 3 times, and I still am not quite satisfied. So that's the problem with it. So it's the last one, but it's the title track to the album. That's why I'm being particular with it, I guess. And every take, like when I've recorded it, the guy that I recorded with up in Portsmouth, he's been like, dude, it's fine. So it's maybe I'm like,
it's just one of those.
Yeah. So it's called, and it's actually a good New Year's song because I wrote it last year. It's called Fare Thee Well, The Beginning of Me, and it's sort of about if you were given the opportunity to start over fresh somewhere brand new, what would you bring with you? Like what would you leave behind? What would you carry on with yourself? Just kind of a fresh start.
That was a good New Year's song.
Got me thinking, so it's called Fare Thee Well, and The Beginning of Me, just kind of starting fresh.
All right, Lee Biddle live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
I'm headed west destination somewhere I ain't ever been. Them majestic mountains, may they save me from the day-to-day I'm suffering. Where no one knows my name, and no one knows the things that I have done. Wouldn't it be nice to live as though your life had just begun? So fare thee well, I'm headed west. I'm gonna touch the stars from a mountain crest, and I'll bathe in a river so wild and free. Oh, fare thee well, this is just the beginning of me. Got no money saved, all I own worth a sale is this here guitar. But I'm afraid to sell it, for I know the liquor won't take me far. So I'll just walk away and open up my case and sing a song. Maybe someone will feel sorry enough to drop a quarter in as they pass along. So fare thee well, I'm headed west. Gonna touch the stars from a mountain crest, and I'll bathe in a river so wild and free. Oh, fare thee well, this is just the beginning of me. So don't you miss me, for when the sun does rise, well, I'll be somewhere neath the western sky. Hope to see you again by and by. So fare thee well, I'm headed west. Gonna touch the stars from a mountain crest, and I'll bathe in a river so wild and free. Oh, fare thee well, this is just the beginning of me. Oh, fare thee well, this is just the beginning of me. Oh, fare thee well, this is just the beginning of me.
All right, Lee Biddle. Live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Nicely done. That is the one that he is unable to get right in his mind in the recording studio.
That's right.
Is that your favorite version? Just you and the guitar right now?
I think it is. I think that's part of it too. Is that
Yeah.
I'm trying. I added one of the versions. We added some slide guitar, which sounded awesome, but for some reason, I almost like it just kind of raw like that. So just trying to figure out. I think that's more. It's almost like I have 3 versions now that I like.
Yeah.
But just trying to figure out which one. So I think the one I'm going to go back to record one more time is going to be kind of stripped like that. I kind of just like it. For that, so.
So I think so many artists are guilty of that. You know, I mean, music is a relative thing, right? But like sometimes it's like I've seen so many, especially at like that indie level, where you see some artists, a lot of times they are playing by themselves, and you see them and like, that song is so good, just you and the guitar or whatever. And then you hear it on like a record, so think, oh, you really did too much.
Totally.
You know?
I think it's easy to overdo it.
Yeah.
Especially if like, that's the other thing too, is I always am, like when I gig, it's mostly, probably 95% of the time, it's just me.
Yeah.
So I feel like adding a lot to a recording is like not, if you're going to come hear me play, it's usually going to be me and my guitar.
Yeah.
So then adding like a whole band sound to it sometimes is, I don't know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that's cool too when you can make.
Yeah,
that
it's
work,
awesome
so.
playing with a band. There's a balance and there's
Totally.
all that
So-
stuff. I mean, the best musicians in the world have had that issue, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I always think of like my guy. I think we talked about him before on the show, but like Springsteen had the E Street Band and walked away for 15 years because he needed to do the different thing of like playing by himself and
And you see, I've seen lots of versions where you hear, like if you like, there's a few versions I can think of songs that I found first on YouTube, and then when I heard the album version, I like liked the stripped down YouTube version
definitely
better, and so sometimes you hear that too, and but you never know what people are going to take to when you're making it.
You hear big artists too say they look back on things like, I remember writing that song by myself.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, I just wish I didn't overproduce the damn thing on the album.
Yeah.
I wish I just trusted my So it happens all the time at every level.
Yeah.
How's dad life?
It's going awesome.
Yeah. Looks like fun. I see.
It's
It's
probably
an
my favorite
adorable
thing.
family.
Yeah, thanks, man. I've always wanted to be a dad, so that's kind of been been fun. I have a just over 3-year-old Livingston and then a 6-month-old Brixton.
Yeah, so you're busy.
Busy, yeah.
How's it work with does the music schedule make it easier in some ways because there's some off hours already?
Yeah, it's been like a really cool balance, especially when my wife she's a teacher.
Yeah.
So she has summers off, and this summer particularly she was on maternity leave, so she got like summer and some extra time.
Gotcha.
So during that time it was awesome because we were all just home during the day. My gigs were mostly at night. Now our schedules, now that she's back to work, are almost opposite some of the times. Like she works through the day. Yeah. And then I'll have gigs at night. So it's still Fridays are my day at home with both boys. So it gives me more time during the day, but then that's where when I used to be a teacher, that was my old job too. Our schedules just lined up perfectly, so it was, so some of that, but overall, I just get more time with them than I could. That's what I'm most excited about.
It's great that you guys play. I talked to because a lot of my friends have started having kids, and for so many that is like it's hard, especially if you don't have. I'm not exactly sure what your family dynamic it is, but some families have more help than others. Yeah, and like if you don't, for the ones that don't have it, whether it be they moved away or whatever, transplants here. Like it's it's hard. Daycare's expensive, and like to figure out scheduling. Like it's like I sometimes as somebody without kids, I look at it and I'm like, oh God, I wonder how you guys are figuring it out.
Yeah, it's definitely that like figuring it out is how we do. Fridays I'm home with them, and then 2 days a week they're at a daycare. Both of them can go to the same one, which is nice. Yep. And then 2 days a week my mother-in-law has them, so we kind of figured out what can work for us. We like having them in daycare to get them socializing and but to do 5 days a week with 2 kids, it's tough. Yeah.
No pet. You have no pets, right?
I do have a dog.
You got the dog
Molly.
too. Oh, how's the dog with the kids?
She's great. She's about 7 now and has kind of she's reached that point where she's just mellow and she's really great with them. So
yeah. Is that what happens at 7? I got a 5-year-old right now who has not hit mellow stage yet.
And she's not mellow when she's like around dogs or at the beach or something, but at home she's definitely. And I don't know, she just loves the 6-month-old right now. Like if he's just sitting somewhere, she'll just go over and just put her head like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like she's just very, almost like nurturing or something. As a dog. Like, it's cute to watch, and
I love that stuff.
Yeah, she's very gentle as a dog, which is nice.
That is great.
Yeah.
And you guys are up in New Hampshire now, so.
Yep.
Is there? Do you find yourself? I know you're recording in Portsmouth. Do you play Portsmouth a lot? I know it's a big music scene up there. But.
Yeah, it's a great music scene. I feel like I'm not quite fully in it. Like I'll get gigs once in a while, in the different. But that's where I'm kind of trying to. Yeah. I'd love to break in a little more there.
I feel like you're even already kind of more spread out though than a lot of. It's easy to find if you have like a staple. Once a week here, it's easy to kind of get into a nice little rotation where.
Totally. And and I feel like the more like everywhere, anywhere I take even little gigs like farmers markets or something. If you find a town and like the farmers market in Portsmouth, I love it. And every time I played there, someone has taken a card, and it's been like someone in Portsmouth. So little things like that. Every gig, I look at them as like they'll open something. Not every time, but a lot of the times it's like.
You've done this one before too, right? Newburyport?
Yeah.
I think
that was one of my early. It's still a favorite spot of mine, and one of my earliest gigs.
Yeah, it's fun. I love that on a nice day, especially in the summertime. But
the farmer market scene, I love. It's just like it's
well, your music kind of fits that way.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I can play originals. I can play like it's always just like
this guy belongs amongst us.
Like, it's not as the focus isn't as much on me. It's just almost providing like a good atmosphere, fun atmosphere. For
Bring
people.
The family out there, kids running around.
It goes great for kids and So, but I always look at those as like someone takes a card from somewhere that has like a restaurant or a brewery or something somewhere, and so they always lead to other things too. And
so does Livingston. So 3 older on the other plus side of 3 now. Is he thinking, looking at you and wondering, how do I play that thing? When do I?
Yeah, he definitely loves music. He's not at a point to like sit down and do. He's very just running around on the go. But he's into it. He loves kids music.
Yeah. Do you find yourself playing a lot of that?
Oh yeah. And there's a place in town. A little shout out to the Nook in Newburyport. Heard of it?
Yeah.
But I do 2 days a week there, kids music.
Oh, no kidding.
So I've kind of gotten in now more so into the world of. I'm kind of just keep it there for now. Just my kids love it there, so it's like.
Wait, so I'm not too familiar with the Nook. What is?
So the Nook is downtown Newburyport, and it's basically for I don't know the age that it goes up to, but infants to at least toddlers.
Okay.
Kind of an indoor playground almost, like they.
Yeah.
And so they have things for kids to climb around on and play on, and all the things that kids love, books and everything. And then Mondays and Thursdays at 10, I do a half hour just
nice
kids music, like Wheels on the Bus and all those kind of things. And, And so he loves that kind of stuff. Is
it all old school? I mean, there's a lot of new age.
I'm trying to get
Bruno,
I'm trying to get in with I mean, Baby Shark goes over well.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yep.
Our anchor Jeff Brown at the WBZ radio will, he actually, I was gonna say he hates it, but I actually think he likes tormenting others with it.
That's what I've learned. It works there, but I was playing somewhere and a kid came up and requested it. And I was like, I don't know if I can play that right. There was so many like adults, and there was like 3 kids. I was like, I don't know if I can play Baby Shark right now.
The adults are just staring at you.
Like, don't do it.
Oh man, that is funny.
But no, it's fun, and
it is something about that. It is. If I hear, I may have already ruined it for both of us.
Yeah,
I think I may be doing it all day now because I am doing it in my head.
As soon as you hear the name, it's stuck there.
I'll have to get you to play another one to get it out of my head.
But the other funny thing about Livingston with the guitar is kind of just a funny story too. The one of the first songs I ever played for him, I forget who it's by, but it's just this old folk song called Walking Cane, Hand Me Down My Walking Cane. And I was able to play it on the ukulele. I don't know that many chords on the ukulele, so it was one that while he was going to bed, I'd like play it for him. And it's like, hand me down my walking cane. And now to this day, he calls a guitar a walking cane. So wherever we get, like, people are like, what? Like, he'll just be like, Dad, play the walking cane or get the walking cane out. And everyone's like, what? And I know exactly what he's talking about. But then people are like, you're a guitar player. How does he not know guitar? And I'm like, I just don't want to correct him.
It's a walking cane in our house.
It's a walking cane. I love it. So
that's a good song title. Maybe.
Everything. Yeah, exactly. Dad, get the walking cane.
Something to work with there, I think.
Yep. And even his little ones, he's got little guitars. That's my walking cane.
You mentioned when you said the word climb, I forget for what, but I was actually just thinking, I remember seeing a face. You are a climber.
Yeah, I've gotten...
is that a new thing, or is that like a...
It's kind of been
an
on and off thing for
climbing.
Rock climbing. Yeah. I started doing it in high school and loved it then, and then I've always been mostly due to injuries, like little finger injuries, and then getting more into the guitar, having to be more careful about that.
Walking cane, please.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the walking cane. Sorry.
Yeah.
But just kind of on and off. But in the past 2 years now, just kind of really got back into it, and it's now probably my at least go-to hobby of ever. Like I'm big into skateboarding and snowboarding, but in terms of just like on a daily basis, I've been kind of getting over to the climbing gym. And
you alternative sport man, you.
Yeah, like what's cool about it especially in that ways, it doesn't feel like a workout to me, but it is. So it's
definitely.
It's like a hobby for me. So it's a good way to get myself staying active and working out, but enjoying it instead of I've always been someone that I like the gym, but it's more of a force for me, like a typical gym. Traditional.
You're gonna have that goal at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, and I'll do like a really good month, and then it dwindles down for a while, and then a really good month. So
I think we can all relate to that a little bit. As you make your gym New Year's resolutions out there, maybe they're already broken.
Find a sport that's more of a hobby. It works well.
Oh, there you go. All right, what do you got next first over there, Lee?
I might try another. So far, I guess I'll do all stuff that'll be on the new album.
Okay.
This one's my newest song, and another one for my wife, I guess, or kind of for myself too, but it's called My Darling.
All right, live at Drew's house, Lee Biddle, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
When the sun goes down and the feet go up, it's you right there by my side. When times are tough and my thoughts are to rush, it's you who's calm in my mind. Girl, you're soothing my mind. Like the sun, sometimes I'm up. Lord knows I can feel low down. A guy like me, we ain't easy, but somehow you keep coming round. Girl, you keep my world spinning round. And it's nice to know that I can always count on you. I hope that you know you can always count on me too. My darling, how I love you. Well, it's a mystery how you and me managed to have our paths cross. But opposites, they do attract, like the rising sun and the morning frost. You cast your warmth upon me and you melt me like the morning frost. It's easy living in the springtime, like a couple flowers thriving in the sun. But life ain't always sunshine, and I love you when the blizzards come. I'll hold you in my arms and I'll warm you when the blizzards come. And it's nice to know that I can always count on you. I hope that you know you can always count on me too. And my darling, how I love you, yeah. Oh, my girl, how I do, oh, yeah. And it's nice to know that I can always count on you. I hope that you know you can always count on me too. And my darling, how I love you. I love you. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I love you.
Lee Biddle, live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive, playing some new ones here for us today, which is nice. I always love it when you're one of those guys who I don't know if you prepare for this show or if you're always writing or what, but you always tend to have a
something new on the. I guess a little bit of both. I knew which I prepared a little and but always writing.
God, you're always writing. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
The when the kids are napping, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to find the time now for sure. As soon as my son hears the guitar strum, he's like, "Walking Cane Dance."
Yeah. Did you guys have a good Christmas and everything? What was the
yeah
presents? It's a big presents age, right? 3.
Yeah. He's at an age kind of really getting into Santa for the first time.
Understanding it, yeah.
And all this, and yeah, understanding.
Were you on a train?
Yes.
You were on a Santa Claus train.
Yep. That was in Newburyport, the Polar Express.
I just remembered that.
Yep. That was actually really cool. I had no idea what that was going to be like, and it was basically there was like all the kids along the whole MTA here in Newburyport, and I think it rode to Ipswich, and the kids were on it, and I just led a parade of different Christmas type animals and characters and singing Christmas songs all down the different cars of the train.
It looked awesome.
It was really cool. I had no idea what to expect. I was pretty blown away.
Was it like early December or something? I remember.
Yeah, it was December 2nd maybe.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing it. Like, it just hit me right now. It's like I remember we were watching that video, and I think I was watching it in bed one night. I was going, "That is awesome."
Yeah, it was really cool, just all the way down the train, and it was for doing it. I got to bring my family on, so one of the trains going through was like my wife and 2 sons and her sister and her kid were sitting on the train and went through. So yeah, that was really cool. How'd
you stumble across that? Are they always looking for musicians to?
Yeah, someone had just reached out. An old friend actually that I reconnected with through a farmer's market. They had they were working the farmer's market, had a little stand set up at it.
Yeah.
And he's always kind of volunteered for it, doing different things, and he had reached out saying they're always looking for musicians. I think you'd have a good time. It's really hard to get tickets for. They sell out like right away. So part of it was like if you volunteer to do it, your family can kind of guaranteed a spot almost. Was so I was like,
you just missed the on-sale ticket date, so you're like, I better do something.
Yeah, exactly.
That is too funny. What is it? Was it? Did you dress as was it Santa or like an elf?
I was kind of more like an elf. I think I wasn't sure. My wife got me a hat that definitely didn't fit. So
you're looking at her like
the video. Yeah, in the video I put on Instagram, you can even hear her laughing because she saw me. And she was like, "It's like so tight on my head," and like just went for it because I didn't have. So I wore like a sweater and
I was laughing too.
Hat. Yeah.
where is that? Can the people see that? Is that posted somewhere?
Yeah, that's on my Instagram, Biddle Music.
There you go.
Yep.
If people want to
check it out, it's funny.
Funny videos and watch all the serious videos too. But
But you can hear if you listen to it. My wife is just dying. She's filming, and you can just hear her dying because of my hat.
How's teacher life these days? I know it seemed like the sicknesses are running through the schools here, huh?
Yeah. She's back she went back around from maternity leave. She went back around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And so far, knock on wood, but so far so good for her. But I see it too with my boys now in daycare. It's like every other week there's coming home with something, or we get the email that something's in the daycare going around, and so it seems a little nonstop that way, especially then with her working in the school system.
Yeah.
That too. So
I think like
this time of year.
It is this time of year, and I just think I think it will be for like years. I mean, not forever, but like just in these years after the pandemic.
Yeah.
I just think there's.
Well, that's what I feel like it's now. Like I was joking with someone the other day. She was saying she like sneezed, and I forget her response, but she almost like apologized, and we were all like, "What?" She was like, "Oh, I just feel like you can't sneeze anymore." Everyone like, and it's like coughing and sneezing. All of a sudden, you're like, it used to just be like, "Oh, that's a cold," but now everyone's like, "What is that?"
You're not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
The my way of diffusing that actually, because in the in the newsroom we're all kind of close knit in Boston, and my way of diffusing that now is I go, "It's just a virus."
Yeah, exactly.
Which we have weird humor in the newsroom.
Yeah, you got it.
Too much serious stuff, right?
Yeah.
Again, Lee Biddle joining us here, playing us some new songs. Some you haven't even heard yet because they're not out. Some he's still trying to polish off.
Exactly.
Which is why we like this show, because you get to hear a lot of this stuff. Where can people give the Instagram? Where else? People find where you're playing and all that.
Yeah, mostly Instagram and Facebook. Lee Biddle Music. I have a website, biddlemusic.com.
Better with the Insta though.
Yeah, I'm just in terms of updating it myself and staying up with it.
Yeah.
Instagram. I always post a monthly schedule.
Yeah.
Well, I try to. This month I did it.
Yeah.
So it's out. And add to it as anything comes up.
New Year's resolution. Stay on top of that, right?
That's. I wish I could. I know there's benefit to like posting every day type thing. And I'm so bad at it. So
it's hard.
Trying to get better at that sort of thing.
It's hard because you're already so attached to the damn phone, and then it's like,
exactly.
Then it's like, part of your job too.
Yep.
I've had the artists that have been on here that I'm about to say will know who they are, but I've called some artists out here who I really wanted to go see you one night. You were supposed to be in Newburyport, and I'm saying, are you not there? And I was like, oh no, I'm in Philadelphia. Well, that's not what your schedule says. It's, oh, I should change that.
Yeah.
As musicians are the worst.
Oh yeah. My website, I ran into that with someone said they found me on a website, and same deal. I think I was supposed to be at the Newburyport Brewery. They were like, "We're here," and I was like, and then they looked back at it, and I think this was like 2021, and then they looked, and it was like 2019 was my schedule, so it was like 2 years old at that point. And that was when I had to. I called my guy, and I was like, I gotta do better on this.
Yeah.
So,
but person who I said that to, I will say, almost does that daily thing now every day. Almost doesn't miss it now.
Supposedly, there's great benefit to it. I just gotta get on that.
Yeah. And I think he tells me he did it. Every time I post it, I think of you. And I said, well, that's very sweet, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like as if you're looking for something to do last minute, right?
Yeah.
That's what I do. I look at my Instagram.
Totally. And that's what my schedule should be up to date on Instagram. So it's because I just do that myself and
there you go.
And try to update it. So
it's right in your pocket.
Yep. Exactly.
There you go. It's a good New Year's resolution for any of you musicians out there. It's a good thing to just be, it is hard.
Yeah.
I get it. You're your own boss, really.
Yeah. Totally.
One man wrecking crew most of the time. And you have a kind of, is that your band, or would you call that your band, or is it kind of more like
the one that
the one that I saw in Danvers? Yeah,
so it's kind of just the only gig we've had together is at the Berry Tavern in Danvers.
So you want them to be your band? No.
Yeah, like we kind of just jam together when we can. So even our first time playing there, someone was like, "What's the name of your band?" And we all were like,
that's always fun.
So I think we were like Lee Biddle and friends because
which I kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, so I think we've kind of gone with something with that since, but we're so unofficial as a band that it's more like if something is looking for a band, we kind of do what I do solo as a band. So if there's a place that says they prefer band in terms of like filling a room or something, it's good to be able to call on these guys, and if they can make it, that's kind of how it is. It's easier solo to say I can make it to that gig than to check with 3 other people. Right. Someone usually can't make it, and so
here's a fun one. I haven't asked this one before since we're in 2024 now. What was the favorite gig of last year? Do you have one? It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is, but possibly I played at the Portsmouth Music Hall Lounge, opening for Reed Fell, actually.
Yeah.
And that was just a cool experience altogether. Like, I think just that's a dream place for me to play. I want to get
awesome
more.
Room.
Awesome room. He was awesome. I guess I want to start working towards getting more listening room type things like that.
Yeah.
Where original music is like fully listened to. I feel like a lot of my music is lyric based. Yeah. And so I like when people are there to kind of just listen to music. So that was a really cool one for me because it was like nerve-wrackingly silent, almost like as someone who is
a little more chatter, please.
Yeah, like when I was getting out there, it was like you could hear a pin drop, and I was like, but it was really cool, and it's one of those things for me. It was like get past the first song, and then I could ease up a little bit. And
that's cool to hear, though. You actually had nerves. I think other artists like hearing that.
Yeah. Oh man, I had, and it's funny. I don't get them if I'm like at a brewery where it's still eyes on you, but you're a little background at the same time. I'm just used to that, I guess. I used to get nerves around that too, and now I'm just sort of used to that. But this was I felt it for sure and I mean I felt it at doing the Seabrook Idol thing too. As soon as there's like a judging situation or it's like that sort of thing, you feel it a little more too there. Yeah. But I definitely felt it there for sure.
I tell the story. It catches you. I think it's something that you always have to be prepared for too in life. Because I remember we had Sal Baglio and John Butcher and Alan Estes on the show.
Yeah.
And they play as a trio a lot. And they were playing the Firehouse one night, and they had asked me. It was like, "Hey, when we play, can you introduce us?" And I said, "Sure." And it was like the first thing out of COVID. I definitely had not been on a stage since before COVID, and like that whole public speaking thing. It's just such a different animal.
Totally.
And I thought nothing of it. Like I've done it before, whatever. It's been a little while, but like just whatever, wing it, no notes or anything. Me. It's just back there before the show, just kind of just talking with the guys, joking around, laughing, not thinking anything. Kind of knew what I wanted to say, prepared, but walked out on stage, and I remember this is only like 2 years ago, just kind of when everything was still coming back, and I walked on stage and just that feeling of that light on you, and like when we have to struggle to kind of to see the people, and then you're like, then there's the people, and like I was like, oh my god, I forgot what that felt like.
Totally.
Like, and I got nervous.
And I think that light like when it's more of a stage like that than like kind of a spot in a brewery. I keep using that as an example, but like that's where, because that was what it was at the lounge too. I came out, it was hard to see. Like when I was coming out, the light was so bright that I actually couldn't see anybody. And then when I got in my chair, it was like they were right there. Just like, and that was when I was like, whoa.
Impress us, you and your walking cane.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that's too funny. It is funny. Yeah, I think it's good though. I mean, I always say like those nerves. I mean, if you just, I don't know what your mentality is. My thing is just keep going.
Go for it.
Nobody notices that you're nervous. Like, it's just fight through it and then you smooth it over. And
best thing about original music is most people don't know it yet.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Forget a verse or something. I'm like,
that's a great point.
They don't know. And
if you
so
forget a voice on free falling, you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, that's not what's next.
That is too funny. That is good. Because I was thinking that last night. I actually had to ask emceeing a little bit. I felt like some people were getting annoyed in the place just of that chatter in the background. And I mean, I know everybody's experienced it who's ever played guitar anywhere. Like, I mean, is there that ever bother you on stage when it's like, can you listen to me pour my heart in here for a second? Guy in the back who's obnoxiously loud.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've just learned along the way, like, I'll be able to tell probably in the first like 3 songs if it's gonna be a place where like some like soft original song of mine that more lyric based would go over well, or if it's like play the stuff everybody knows and I always try to, like, my goal is to work my own as like an artist. I want to be doing my own music as much as I can. So I feel like I have like 5 songs now, which is good, that I feel like are just upbeat, catchy enough feeling that I can just do them and they almost work in any setting. Yeah. But to play kind of some of my softer, more ballads, like slower, sadder songs or whatever, it's pick and choose.
There's some nights you say, not going to work.
Not going to work. Not putting everyone to sleep tonight at the end of the night.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Well, Lee Biddle, man, it's a pleasure to start 2024 with you here, one of our first musical guests. So it's great to see you again. Come by. I know you're not performing in Seabrook Idol, but come by and say hello.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get there next week.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
Grab a dinner. Yeah.
We'll do that. They got good food up there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. We'll call it a night out. Very good.
Yeah.
You want to bring us home with one? You get another one in your back pocket there?
Yeah, I'll try. This has kind of been my favorite go-to, and live along a railroad line in East Kingston, New Hampshire. And one night as it was going by, I was sitting by the fire outside and just felt inspired to write an old-timey train song. It's called
from
Lonesome Whistle Blues.
Planes to trains. See what we did there?
See what we did?
And then we ended with the preferred way of, I don't mind a train.
Yeah, just need some automobiles.
There you go. All right, what was it called again?
It's called Lonesome Whistle Blues. And quick funny thing about this one too is someone told me that it sounds like it needed a yodel, so I might add a yodel at the end.
All right. Lee Biddle, thank you, sir. Thank you to May Power, Sarah Hayden, Ryan Rothberg, Maya Gassman, our whole team here, small but mighty team in Newburyport. We appreciate you. I love you. Live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. We'll see you next time, everybody.
When that lonesome whistle blows, I'll pack my bags and I'll be gone. When that lonesome whistle blows, I won't be coming around no more, no. Well, it was early July when we first met. You looked so pretty, I'll never forget. What did go wrong? Where did we go wrong? Once a happy story, and now a sad song. When that lonesome whistle blows, I'll pack my bags and I'll be gone. When that lonesome whistle blows, I won't be coming around no more, no. Well, that's 4 years flushed down the drain. 4 years enough to drive a man insane. What am I to do? I still love you. Without you, I'm just a man with nothing to lose. When that lonesome whistle blows, I'll pack my bags and I'll be gone. When that lonesome whistle blows, I won't be coming around no more, no, no. Like many poor souls long before me, I'll ride the iron rails until I reach the salty sea. I've nowhere to go, no place to call home. But when the whistle blows, well, I'll be on my own, my own. When that lonesome whistle blows, I'll pack my bags and I'll be gone. When that lonesome whistle blows, I won't be coming around no more, no, no. Yodelay, oh.